Hello and welcome to the Redmen Daily News. It's me again. It won't be me. I think there's one more day of me. You've got one more day of me and then Chris will be back if they are not lost somewhere. I think apparently their plane was diverted to Frankfurt or their plane was cancelled on them. But it's not that big a news day today, I think, because normally post-games the news just kind of dries up. No big transfers in, no big transfers out at the moment. A few potential transfer, I think, that in a position that we all want to see a left back, and some injury news. So one player who's not going to a club at the moment is Alberto. Alberto's proposed £6 million move to Sevilla, the club who sold him to us, has fell through. We wanted £6 million for him, for a player we paid £6.8 million for 3 years ago, and Sevilla basically aren't interested in doing business at that price, which is a shame because I think it'd be good. £6 million is a good investment for us to recoup now. Obviously, it'd only have cost us £8.8 million, so it wouldn't have been too much of a loss. Decent move for him back to Spain, which is obviously where he wants to go. But, you know, apparently it's not going to happen. Now, the article said that there are a couple of championship clubs who are intrigued in taking him on. You know, they named Wolves, QPR and Aston Villa as potential suitors for him. Alberto's a strange one, isn't he? He's very much the forgotten man of Liverpool Football Club, you know. Came in at £6 million from Sevilla. He'd played for Barcelona B. He had a decent pedigree. We all wanted to see where he was, and then he wasn't bad, but he wasn't great. He was a little bit too slow for the Premier League, didn't take to it. He's obviously not been fancied by Jurgen Klopp. You know, he's been back in pre-season and not been used at all. So he's completely on the periphery. He's not going to be part of Liverpool Football Club's plans. But he's 23 years old. He made 29 appearances for Deportivo last season. He got 6 goals and 7 assists. Those aren't bad stats. Those aren't terrible stats for a footballer. You know, we've had players and we've bought players who've had worse stats. We've definitely sold players for better value than that. So I can see, you know, you look at a championship club, if he can pull it together, if he puts on a little bit more weight or strength, or someone just thinks, yeah, you know what, we'll make the team, he can be our luxury player, he could possibly go in and do a real good job for someone like that. And I know Wolves have just been bought. They are owned now by the 4th richest owner in the English game, and they are spreading their wings. They've brought 2 Portuguese players in so far. They're looking at bringing someone else in. Is Alberto the type of player that they see as spending £5 or £6 million on and thinking, you know what, he could do our midfield and help us get from the Championship to the Premier League? Would Alberto agree a move to another English-based club? That's probably a potential difficulty. He's probably going to go out on loan to Spain again, isn't he? And we'll forget about him until this time next year when we look to try and sell him or his contract runs up. So a player who has left is Jack Dunn, the forward attacking player. He's gone out on loan, on a 6-month loan to Morecambe, the League 2 side. He's 21. And he definitely needs to impress at that age to kick on at Anfield. You know, he needs to go to Morecambe and he needs to be a very good footballer. You know, you're probably looking at Jack Dunn as not being a Liverpool player for the future. At 21, he should have been involved instead of Ben Woodburn, Ejaria, you know, players who have come in and really impressed. But that's, like Alex Beale has said in the past, the academy's got to start giving back. That does not necessarily mean in terms of personnel for the first team. It means in producing footballers who go on to have a career, and we can make money off of that. You know, there was a stat going around the other week. The sale of Arb and Smith and Kainos put together basically is the running costs of the academy for like 4 or 5 years. If we can produce players who we sell for £4 million, £5 million to the lower leagues, and that only need one player each graduating year to cover the cost of running the academy for the whole year. If they're selling for like the Brad Smith fee of £6 million, that's another way of putting back. Not everyone's going to be an absolute cert, nor everyone's going to be a winner or a Premiership footballer. The reason why Jack Dunn will have gone out is at 21, Alex Beale's also come out and said he wants his under 23 side to. It's gone from being under 21s to under 23s this year to have an average age of 19, which is very young. So we're pretty much cutting those players out who are in that bracket of 20 to 22. Ryan Kent, who would have been into that, who actually think might have a future at Liverpool, he's gone out on loan. You know, Jack, he's kind of just fallen between the gaps of not being young enough and exciting enough, and also not having improved and pressed enough to actually get some sort of first team football. So good luck to him at Morecambe. It's only 6 months. Hopefully he goes there and he plays really, really well and presses, and he gets a move to a club, or he actually, you know what, even better, he goes there and he's absolutely incredible and he really kicks on. He comes back and tries to challenge for a Liverpool first team. Who knows? Another young player who we are talking about, who I've been very impressed with in the pre-season, I'm sure most of you watching this have been impressed with, is Ovie Ejaria. Unfortunately, Ovie Ejaria, only 18, remember. I don't think many of us knew of him. Definitely didn't expect much from him before pre-season, but came in and played really, really well. He's injured, unfortunately. So he's got a groin injury, which is going to see him out for an undetermined amount of time. What it definitely means is he's not going to take part again in pre-season, which is sad because he may have just filled the numbers up. I think he'd have played one more time. I think he probably would have played in the Mainz game on the Sunday when we're going to have a full team, strength team out against Barcelona, and then the Sunday game in Germany would have been more of a B team or a mixture of B team, U team, close to what possibly the League Cup team would be. And he's not going to play in that, and it's another chance to impress missed for him. And at that age, and with such strong competition in the squad, you know, we've seen Shea Ojo come back from the England Under-19 tournament, play so well, and now he's back in people's minds. It's a chance, you know, you've got to impress and you've got to keep seizing them, so you don't want to be injured. But he's only 18. He's impressive. Obviously, Klopp likes him. Klopp rated him, took him to the American tour. I think he'll be back. Hopefully, the groin injury will see him back before the second round of the League Cup, because we are not in Europe. We enter the League Cup really early into the second round. Hopefully, Ejaria's back to playing that, because that would have been his first proper chance of getting football for Liverpool anyway. So the last bit of news is a continuation of a storyline. Left back, James Milner is apparently our backup left back. A lot of people don't like Albi Moreno. Maybe he's our first choice left back. That's a bit scary, isn't it? Jetro Willems from PSV has basically started talking up his move again, which in general never really comes to fruition when players talk up their moves, but who knows. So after playing for PSV in a 1-0 win over Feyenoord in the Johan Cruyff Shield, he said, "There are a number of clubs that have been in touch. We are looking at my options. I don't know whether I will be gone by the time the Eredivisie season has started, but things will be all right. I am not overly worried about that. I am focused on PSV for now. We won another trophy today. Silverware just keeps coming." So he's mentioning that there's clubs that have been in touch. Liverpool are heavily linked as being one of those clubs, a £13 million target apparently. That was stoked by the fact that when we signed Wijnaldum, Jetro commented on his Instagram, or put an Instagram post of the two of them together, saying, "We at the end, good, congratulations on your move, good luck. We will see each other again soon." They could be friends, and they were planning going to see Star Trek Beyond at the weekend. They could have been talking about teaming up for the Dutch national team, but transfer rumour mongers amongst us took that to mean that he is joining Liverpool. Also, they wouldn't be crazy, would it? We need a left back. I think most people would say that. He's a left back. He plays in that position. He's played in the team. I looked him up to do a news show last week, and he was quite impressive, you know, about his age. He was part of that PSV team with Wijnaldum and Depay, which was really, really impressive a couple of seasons ago. Who knows? I think this is a Zielinski. I think this is a paper talk type transfer that's probably not going to come off. But if we buy a left back, I hope it's a good left back, and I also want us to buy a left back, and I'm sure you do too. So what do you think about Jetro Willems? Do you think he'd be a good player for us? Who would you like to see it come in at left back? Do you think Klopp's policy of not buying a left back because his first choice, which it seems to be was Chilwell, is not available, is good? And can we make do at fullback with Klein and Moreno as our first choices, and then pretty much only Randall, Alexander-Arnold and Milner covering those fullbacks? Or are you worried that that's leaving us very short for the season? Write in the comments below. We have got a game today. We're playing Roma. There'll be post-match Roma content tomorrow, and check back when the boys are back from America with loads of stories of what life on the other side of the country, on the other side of the world was like for them and American Liverpool supporters. See you soon.